reporter has a look at the security concerns for tomorrow.
But we begin with Colleen Marshall, who has been talking to people who made the trip to see the inauguration. And Colleen is live at Washington, D.C. tonight at the Capitol Skyline Hotel. Hello, Colleen.
Hey, Ellie and Mike, you know, it is the Capitol Skyline Hotel, but tonight it is Buckeye country. You might be able to see what's going on behind me. This is a reception for all people Ohio. We have lawmakers here, delegates who went to the convention, party leaders, but also just regular voters and supporters of Donald Trump who made this trip because they are excited to hear what he has to say tomorrow. They're talking about a time for change. You know, the entire city seems to be in anticipation mode. We got here earlier this afternoon, and much of the heart of the Capitol will be fenced in and cordoned off tomorrow. Very tight security, as you would expect for an event like this. People are being cautioned to pack their patience and to expect long lines at security tents. Still, though, the atmosphere is festive. Trump supporters are here to celebrate the victory that they said they helped to ensure. Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine brought 2 of his many grandchildren to see history in the making.
I think there's just something special when you look up there and you see the transfer of power from, you know, one person to another. They walk out, when they walk back, you know, the power has passed, and you know we do it better in this country than any other country, and we've been doing it longer.
Do you think college kids are paying attention to this?
Yeah, definitely in my school they are. It's a big deal.
I hope he says reassuring words to the American people and keeps it professional.
And a lot of people are wondering just what his tone will be like tomorrow. Keith Faber, the outgoing Senate president, told me he thinks it's time for Donald Trump to be presidential, to sound presidential. And he says he predicts that at some point he will be Ronald Reagan-esque. That's the kind of leader he predicts that Donald Trump will be for the country. We'll have much more of all of this coming up for you tonight on NBC4 at 11. We'll be following you online as well. And tomorrow, of course, we'll be here bright and early on NBC4 today, getting ready for the inauguration of Donald Trump. Live in Washington, Colleen Marshall, NBC4.
Thanks, Colleen. We look forward to your reports. The day before Inauguration Day, there was a much different swearing-in ceremony in the nation's capital.
Thousands of security officers from across the country are getting ready for a potential showdown across D.C. NBC4's Mark Taylor is here now with what they're preparing for.
Well, nearly 1 million people are expected to be on the National Mall tomorrow, and tensions could be high on the National Mall. That's why security is focusing its efforts to keep things calm and safe.
So help me God. So help me God.
Deputized this morning by D.C. police ground troops, as many as 8,000 National Guards men and women have moved into the nation's capital, part of a massive security effort across the district. They'll join federal agents, state, local, Capitol Police, and officers traveling from departments across the country. Also motoring into the Beltway, thousands of bikers for Trump who say they'll help protect citizens as close to 1 million people gather here.
Something that I think that all true red, white, and blue Americans have been waiting for a long time. It's time to, to take our country back.
Hundreds of thousands of Trump supporters celebrating the inauguration and hundreds of thousands protesting the new president. Normally, during an inauguration, Capitol Police get about 6 requests for protest permits. This year, they've had 30 and expect, permit or not, to see 100 or more organized demonstrations.
We want to let the world know that this is a very serious situation in the United States. This is not just your normal transition of power here.
Like supporters, protesters have traveled from across the country, thousands training before they'll try to disrupt the festivities.
Round it up and deport it.
A showdown is expected as Trump takes the oath of office, and both sides in this ongoing power play fill in the National Mall. Now, along with the protest tomorrow, many of the groups plan to try and block entry to the inauguration on Saturday. There's a major women's rally. 200,000 women are expected to march from the Freedom Plaza to the White House. Ellie?
All right. Thanks a lot, Mark. And NBC4 will be there when Donald Trump is inaugurated as the 45th president of the United States. Full coverage begins at 10 a.m., runs through 4 p.m. right here on NBC4. Colleen Marshall and Courtney Yoon will be there live with reports from Washington, D.C. as the new president takes the oath and leads the Oval Office.